Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just doing a quick table reading because I'm just so excited. Well, it's time to calm down then. It's late at night on Tuesday night, and it looks like once the absentee ballots are all counted from the larger blue counties in Georgia, it looks like it's going to be Ossoff winning and Warnock for sure. And I am thrilled. I am so beyond thrilled because I've read on these two for so many times. Sometimes I've just put it on Patreon, but so many times I was, almost obsessed because I did feel like the energies were, there was chaotic energy. A lot was shifting and changing. And that I kind of understood that because I always felt like I was always getting, like months ago, that Warnock would win, Loeffler would be out. I would say Loeffler will be, she'll be gone. But Purdue felt kind of strong to me. So I would say I don't have clarity. I don't have clarity. I kind of had the feeling months ago that it was going to be a Dems were going to pick up one seat, not two. But then there was all this changing energy, and the changing energy, a lot of times in recent weeks, that's why I wanted to read on it again recently, was Trump coming in and having Lynn Wood and crazy people like that say, and I shouldn't say crazy people because I know lots of crazy people. I'm crazy sometimes that are wonderful people, so I shouldn't say crazy people. But hacks like Lynn would go in and say, oh, we should be hopeful, go in and say things like, if they haven't earned their vote by supporting Trump, don't give them your vote, and stuff like that. So that was the final nail in the coffin for Purdue, I think. So I'm asking Spirit, what should we think about this? The Democrat dominated Congress, Senate. Well, the House and the Senate, the Congress. So what should we think about that? Right away, I get this hope card. We've been seeing a lot of that one, the star card. Woohoo! What else? The Page of Swords. There's going to be a lot of talking about that. That's poorly thought out and off the top of the head. So don't pay attention to the noise is what I'm getting. Like, I think there's going to be, and I did see this months ago, that there's still going to be something contested after this runoff, or recount or something like that. I think they're saying don't fall for the noise. Okay, and the Magician. Manifestation. These are lovely cards, aren't they? I think that this is saying that turning of the wheel of fortune. See, the Magician, he has one arm up because he's saying what's coming from heaven, as it is in heaven, may it be on earth. That's the meaning of that. Diagonal. And, I'm very clearly seeing the wheel is turning. There's a manifested change. And this comes after seeing the tower again and again and again, with the old leaders, the old royalty falling out of that tower. So, yeah, it's here. It's here. Change is here. It's begun. It's begun. The long night of the soul, where, worries about corruption in our government, overtaking the whole thing, ruining the whole thing, worries about that nightly will be much decreased. We have the Judgment card. Judgment has fallen. Yeah, the American people have spoken. Not to say that everything is fixed, but it's begun. The American people are understanding the power they have with their vote. This is still on the bottom of the deck. All right. The American people are understanding the power that they have with their vote, and they are holding it more dearly. And they're going to be demanding that their vote have equal weight to other people's votes in the country. That we're getting some reform. It's begun. It's begun. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, Spirit. Anything else we should know about this change of the guard and what that may bring? Right. And you know what's funny about that is, as I was saying, anything else we should know, Spirit, right away I thought of the COVID, the pandemic. But then I kind of brought it back to changing of the guard, and Spirit brought it back to the pandemic. Okay. So we're still bedeviled by that. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. Because of the pandemic, the change in that has been the tower. That has been a good part of that tower that's turning the wheel into a new era here, because it's been so difficult and bedeviling. That's why I feel like that's why we've had help from beyond, because I do believe Trump may have won had it not been for the pandemic and his disastrous handling of that. We have the Two of Swords, which I feel is a reminder that there's still much to be done, because we have the two parties, and sometimes they act a little alike. Sometimes you see big business and corporate donors having too much influence in each of, politicians from each of the parties. So this can be greed and avarice. So the income inequality issue and the greed and it's begun. Change has begun. COVID, the pandemic, helped turn that wheel, but it's certainly an issue that the new government is going to have. The new guard. We asked about the new guard is going to have to deal with, and that's going to dominate for months. Ace of Swords is now upright. Yeah, it's like, thankfully, there are revelations and epiphanies and use of logic and smarts. That will be very refreshing to see all the scientists come in and have a voice and policy reflect what they're saying, and all of the governmental officials who would be involved in the planning and the, logistics. There's so many talented government officials who have been sidelined. It will be nice to see that change. Victory. We will have victory. We will have victory. What's this Two of Swords? I took it to mean the two parties. Judgment's fallen. Yeah, that's about right. Judgment has fallen of the voters. It has fallen on any politician who is swayed too much by those big donations, or feels like they can't change it, or have kind of passively come to accept this is the way it is. Have kind of come to accept a version of economics that says we must at all costs make sure that we keep the big businesses here in the US. We must at all costs keep these junky jobs here. That kind of thinking. Oh, we'll lose jobs. Oh my gosh, there are so few good jobs anymore in the US anyway. There aren't so many living wage jobs. Okay. All right. Well, any parting thoughts we should know, Spirit? Victory. We should celebrate. Sure, it's just the beginning. Sure, the pandemic still rages. Sure, there'll be a lot to do. Don't forget to celebrate. Now is the time for celebration. And look, our cup runneth over. Many of us will cry as these Senate results, start circulating on Wednesday. Many of us will be overjoyed. The Knight of Cups, good news. Good news cometh. And this is the first of the good news. Well, Biden was the first of the good news. But the runoffs is another. Good news keeps coming is what I'm seeing. Okay. Well, I thank you all so very, very much. And we have all supported each other during this. And we should celebrate. You take care. Bye-bye.